Dear student, good morning to you. As we know that online classes on the course site Blackboard has been suspended by the order of the dean, and it was not the order of the dean. Actually, all of you have requested and sent mail for not conducting such classes in the on the course website. So as per the new order, I have to upload the video lectures on the KU YouTube channels, and you will see that videos. In the last lecture, we were discussing about the offense of rape, and we have discussed several essential elements, particularly the mens rea, various kind of mens rea involved in the offense of rape. So class 3 of 375 was that consent obtained under fear of death or of hurt. So class 3 of 375 stipulates that consent obtained by putting the woman or any person in whom she is interested in fear of death or of hurt is not consent, and hence the act would amount to rape. The state of Maharashtra versus Prakash. In the state of Maharashtra versus Prakash, the victim was a village girl who had gone to her parents' village to attend a fair. The first accused was Prakash, a police constable. He was deputed for bandobast duty. He was deputed for bandobast duty to that village. The second accused was a businessman. Both the accused had called out the prosecutrix from her parents' house, took her to the house of the second accused, took her to the house of the second accused, that is the businessman, threatened her that her husband would be placed in custody if she did not sign some papers. Thereafter, both of them committed rape on her. The prosecutrix was threatened not to report this matter to the police. Afraid of them, she went back to her parents' house and spent the rest of the night there. The next morning, she met another constable and narrated to him what happened the previous night. He asked her to report the matter to the police. The Bombay High Court acquitted the accused on the ground that the prosecutrix was a willing partner in the act of sexual intercourse. In view of the fact that there were no marks of violence on her body, on appeal, the Supreme Court observed that the relevant point in time, the constable was in uniform and was on बंदोबस्त ड्यूटी. बंदोबस्त ड्यूटी मीन्स उसकी ड्यूटी थी उस गांव में जो मेंटेनेंस पीस एंड ऑर्डर बना रहे, उसी व्यवस्था करने के लिए. The woman was poor rustic villager. She was threatened that her husband would be arrested. So it was a case where she had surrendered herself involuntarily under duress and threat held out by the first accused. The Supreme Court held that this case would fall under clause 3 of section 375 of Indian Penal Code, and accused were convicted to rigorous imprisonment for 3 years. Clause 4th talks about consent obtained by fraud. So by virtue of clause 4 and 5 of 375, consent obtained by fraud is no consent. For instance, if a woman gives her consent for sexual intercourse on the bona fide assumption that a professional medical practitioner through sexual intercourse is medically treating her ailment, or a girl gives her consent for sexual intercourse to a professional singer teacher on the assumption that he through sexual intercourse is treating her breathing to enable her to sing properly, or if a woman consents for sexual contact under the belief that he is her lawfully married husband, then such consent is not a valid consent under law. To attract the provisions of clause 4, it is therefore necessary to prove that the consent was given by the prosecutrix under belief that accused was under person to whom she believed herself to be married. When consent is given by her for sexual intercourse in the belief that she had been married to the husband, the clause is not attracted. ओके ये आपने टॉर्ट में एक पढ़ा होगा केस आर वर्सेस विलियम्स का, इन विच ए गर्ल वेंट बिफोर ए डॉक्टर. उसने कहा वो सी वांटेड टू बी ए सिंगर, तो उसने कहा कि गला खराब है और ये जो है हम अच्छा गा सके इसके लिए आपको दवा दीजिए. तो डॉक्टर ने कहा कि तुम लेट जाओ और हम अभी तुम्हारा ट्रीटमेंट कर देते हैं, इससे तुम्हारा गला ठीक हो जाएगा. सो उसके साथ वो सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स किया और बताया कि इससे तुम्हारा गला ठीक हो जाएगा, यू विल बी ए गुड सिंगर. सो दिस कंसेंट वाज नॉट गिवन फॉर सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स, रादर दिस कंसेंट वाज गिवन विद द फ्रॉड. So consent given under such circumstances is no consent. R versus William का केस है बहुत फेमस. Another point is that is promise to marry the victim a misconception of fact vitiating her consent. शादी करने का वादा करके या झांसा दे करके उससे कंसेंट ले लेना और सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स करना, क्या ऐसा एक्ट भी रेप माना जाएगा? इफ ए फुल ग्रोन गर्ल consents to the act of sexual intercourse on a promise of marriage and continues to indulge in such activity until she becomes pregnant, it is an act of promiscuity on her part and not an act induced by misconception of fact. Section 90 of the Indian Penal Code cannot be put in service to pardon the act of the girl and fasten criminal liability on the perpetrator unless the court can be assured that from the very inception the accused never really intended to marry her. Consent given by the prosecutrix to sexual intercourse with a person with whom she is deeply in love on a promise that he would marry her on a later date cannot be said to be given under a misconception of fact. Sexual intercourse with a girl above 16 years who voluntarily agreed for sexual intercourse on assurance of marriage does not amount to rape. However, consent for sexual intercourse obtained by false promise to marry is not a true consent. A deliberate representation by the accused with a view to eliciting the assent of his victim without having any intention or inclination to marry her vitiates the consent. Hence, consent for sexual intercourse induced by the promise of marriage is not true consent. If it is proved that the accused from the very inception of making the promise had no intention to marry her. However, a promise to marry after non-consensual sexual intercourse does not absolve the perpetrator from liability. His subsequent promise to marry is of no consequence. ये ध्यान रखिए, अगर एक्यूज ने शुरू से ही उसका विवाह करने का इरादा नहीं था, he was committing fraud against the prosecutrix or victim to take her consent for sexual intercourse. यहाँ माना जाएगा कि this consent was not a real consent and accused can be held liable. लेकिन अगर शादी करने का विचार था, लड़की भी उससे प्रेम करती थी, सेक्सुअल संबंध बन गए, बाद में विवाह करने से मना कर देता है, तो ये रेप का मैटर नहीं होगा. थर्ड पॉइंट दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इफ a sexual intercourse is committed, a rape is committed without the consent of the girl. Sexual intercourse is done without the consent of the girl, but later on if accused say that I would marry, वो उससे शादी करता है. Okay, so a promise to marry after non-consensual sexual intercourse does not absolve the perpetrator from liability. पहले बलात्कार कर दिया, बिना उसके कंसेंट से इंटरकोर्स कर दिया, और बाद में वो शादी करता है कि नहीं हम शादी कर लें ताकि ये जो है हम इसको विक्टिम को इस तरीके से हम सजा भुगत ले, तो ये उसकी क्रिमिनल लाइबिलिटी को एब्जॉल्व नहीं करेगा। स्टिल इट इज ए क्राइम ऑफ रेप, भले वो बाद में शादी कर लेता है। नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज कंसेंट ऑफ एन इंसेन और इंटॉक्सिकेटेड वुमेन। In Tulsidas Kanolkar versus State of Goa, it is a leading case on such point, wherein the accused ravished a mentally challenged girl on occasions more than one that resulted in her pregnancy. The apex court categorically held that consent given by mentally challenged girl cannot be said to be consent for sexual intercourse, as she is incapable of understanding the consequences of her consent. The court observed that an act of helpless resignation in the face of inevitable compulsion, quiescence, non-resistance, or passive giving in when the faculty is either clouded by a fear or vitiated by duress or impaired due to mental retardation or deficiency cannot be considered to be consent as understood in law. For constituting consent, there must be exercise of intelligence based on the knowledge of the significance and the moral effect of the act. A girl whose mental faculties are underdeveloped cannot be said in law to have suffered sexual intercourse with consent. It also ruled that a rapist, by sexually assaulting a mentally underdeveloped girl, not only physically ravishes her but also exploits her mental non-development and helplessness. Similarly, sexual intercourse under influence of drink cannot be said to be intercourse with consent. Last clause is that clause 6, that is consent of women under 16 years of age. Clause 6 provides that sexual intercourse with women under 16 years of age will amount to rape, whether it is done with or without her consent. This is because the consent of a minor is no consent. In Harpal Singh versus State of Himachal Pradesh, AIR 1981 Supreme Court, the contention of the defense was that prosecutrix was used to sexual intercourse and no injury was detected on the private parts of the girl. It was contended that it was a case of consent. However, the Supreme Court held that once it was proved that the girl was below 16 years of age, the question of consent becomes wholly irrelevant. Now, last point is marital rape, an exception to rape. An exception to section 375 states that non-consensual sexual intercourse by a man with his own wife, if she is over 15 years, does not amount to rape. It thus keeps outside the ambit of rape a coercive and non-consensual sexual intercourse by a husband with his wife, that is above 15 years of age, and thereby allows a husband to exercise with impunity his marital right of non-consensual or undesired intercourse with his wife. It is believed that the husband's immunity for marital rape is premised on the assumption that a woman gives forever her consent to the husband for sexual intercourse. It also aims at the preservation of family institution by ruling out the possibility of false, fabricated and motivated complaints of rape by wife against her husband and the pragmatic procedural difficulties that might arise in such a legal proceeding. So this has been the essential elements of the crime of rape. In next lecture, I will discuss 376, that is the punishment for rape, and other points. Thank you very much.